Hello and welcome to Four Real Talkers. I'm Bobby.
And I'm Jen.
And I'm Catman.
And we are live at K&L Studio in Harlem. We are going to be talking today about why are men terrified of marriage? My friend Kat over here, yes. He said that to me about a week or so ago, so we want to hear about it. Why?
Well, it's two reasons. One of the reasons, because if the male is the number one breadwinner, he's bringing all of this money to the table, and his other half is not really working. I believe a woman can work. It's her choice. She wants to work or not in a marriage, but it's still a team thing.
Okay.
So if she's not working and he's bringing all the bread and butter, and the marriage don't work, automatically she getting half. So they scared of that. That's one reason. And then a lot of men are scared just because of the fact you got a lot of money. And you don't know if somebody married you for your money or for who you are as a person. See, so if you marry me for my money, like, okay, yeah, I got you, but it's because of my money. If my money run out, or you leaving me, or you gone, I'm scared to death to be with somebody because is it for my money or is it for me?
Okay.
That's the thing.
Okay. Well, what you think, Jen?
Yeah. What do you think, Jen?
I was married.
I want to know what you think.
Listen, I was married at 24.
Wow.
Divorced
Young.
at 25.
Wow.
And he didn't have nothing to give nothing. So I don't understand where that comes from. When men don't want to be married. Like, I mean, we were building, you know.
We were building.
And so, and I'm an old, like I said all the time, like I'm old school, old fashioned, like, you know, and I believe in that whole fairy tale. You get married, house, car, like have a baby, even though it don't come in that order.
Okay.
But it just happens. But I don't feel like men should be afraid to get married if they have that 100% connection with that person.
Okay. Talk about
I
it.
love your old-fashioned values.
A dude is gonna know if you that one, like, and he might know from day one. Nowadays, dudes want you to walk through fire and brimstone to prove that you that
Some.
Okay.
I'm so tired of y'all.
Some guys.
Well, I gotta go through a bid with you. I did
Uh-oh.
a bid.
See, I'm not like that.
I done did a bid. 4 or 5 baby mothers called the phone, and then now you say, I want to marry her because she a real one. Forget that.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
Don't put me through all those changes.
No, a woman should not have to jump through hoops to show a man that he want to be with her.
Exactly.
No, that's not fair. That's not. You with the wrong kind of man.
Now, mind you,
You know what I'm saying?
that's what he didn't do that, but
Talk about it, Jen.
He had a baby mother that I love today. Right now, me and her are so close. But he had a baby mother that I was going one too.
Yeah.
So he had to go through a whole bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And it still end up divorced. Not for him, but by me. I was like, I got to get out of here. So I don't understand the concept of men being afraid to marry because I don't want your money. And again, we can go
He
back
didn't
to the topic
deserve you.
before.
He didn't deserve you.
He didn't.
See, because you a bottom chick. So see what it is? You got women out here marrying men for their money or their status.
Okay.
You said you will build. You said build.
Yeah.
See, now listen,
I'm not doing that.
that's the old fashioned way that would traditional way that my mom was that you didn't marry a man for money. You built the relationship and build the marriage. See,
No, it sounds like she was.
A lot of women, not all women, ain't trying to build. They want a man got money. They want personal gratification right now. They want to live the dream today and now and not tomorrow. But see, you willing to build. Are you willing to build with your man? No, I want to know what she want to know. You want to build?
Jen is on the road. Go ahead.
You marry a man with a lot of money, and then you ain't got to build
I'm
nothing.
gonna tell you one more thing.
Go
I
ahead,
was dating
Jen.
a guy who would make $235 a week, and I went with him to pick up his
Wait,
$235 check, and I still was like, "There go my baby right there."
Y'all, wait a minute,
my
though.
problem.
Wait a second. Wait a
She's
second.
the one. That's the kind of
That's
woman
my
you want
problem
to
because he
get
would take
with.
advantage of. Nah,
See?
but I ain't like that no more.
But
That was
women,
a long...
but look, see, don't let a
So-
man change you. You need to keep being that way because there's some real men out here that will build with you. And when it comes to the end of the day or the end of the week, he gonna put his whole check down and say, "Baby, what we gotta pay?"
All right.
Well, where he at? Where he at?
Well, I'm right here, but it's not just me. So we out here.
Where he
Some
at?
I got other friends and
Listen.
cousins that's the same way.
Because I'm feeling
we
like
tra-
Moni.
we
Moni in the
tra-
middle. Where he
we are
at?
traditional men.
Where he at, though?
And we believe we're supposed to take care of your woman. So if you're working, we gonna build. And guess what?
Okay.
When we build, just like my cousins, all of my cousins have a business with their wives. but they had jobs. They both worked jobs, but then they started businesses. Our family is always the Kimbros and the Dennis. And July 28th, we're doing the reunion. We always build. We always build. We build with our women.
I like that.
See what I'm saying?
I like
The Kimbrough and the Dennis is known for building with their wives. And building not just a marriage, but building businesses.
Okay.
My father had a cleaning service. You know, the Kimbrough family, me and my cousin has a juice bar. Reggie Kimbrough shouting you out. Levels, we shouting you out at Levels. But we saying that we build businesses. My cousin Mike, they have a wing stop down there in Atlanta. And so every one of my cousins that's been in a relationship with a woman, they always bring a business to them to build together. So, all men don't do that, but that's just our family. Our DNA is about that.
So let me ask you a question. Because I told you know what I know what you think. You know what I think. What she think?
Listen, you guys was on a roll. I'm like sitting over here trying to learn. But to me, it sounds like what you were talking about, those terrified men, they sound like immature men. Immature.
Right.
They ain't grow up yet.
That's right. They didn't grow up.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Like, what kind of advice could you give these men that are too immature to recognize that they have a prize? And I'm going to say a prize because that's basically what the woman is that Jennifer was just describing. She described the prize. She was okay with $235 a week. Come on.
See, you're a traditional, old-fashioned woman.
That's
a beautiful thing.
Man who shall remain
Men will be lined up calling in like y'all did last week. Gonna be calling me up asking about her. We got her back here this week again. Like I said, like she's telling like it is. She said, "I need a man." I don't know about y'all. I need a man.
Yes.
Who said I don't need a man? Not me. Yes.
Not me either.
I need and want you. Like I can survive without you, but I need you. I'm not gonna say you're not.
That's correct.
Well, that makes the views go up when she said the views just went to the moon when she said, "I need a man," and I don't care what you women do. I got to have me a man.
And like she said,
I love that.
It's
See,
not
now
about
I
the
feel
dollars.
needed. Just because one black woman is saying that, we just need to meet more that's out there saying that. Yes, I do need a man, and I do want to build. She not only did she say she need a man, she said she wants to build. So look, just like she's a dinosaur, but no, it's still.
Wait, hold up, Kat. There's two women sitting here on this couch. It's two of us over here, and I'm right here with Jen. I need a man too.
And you want to build?
I need a man.
Have a man with a lot of money already. He got it all. And look, you ain't got to work. You ain't got to do nothing.
I need a man, but let me just say, I need a black man. I love my black men. Okay.
Thank you. Look,
and
thank you.
building.
I feel touched.
Now, I don't mind building, but at the same point, it depends on, what exactly are we building for? Because men don't typically want to tell you what's really going on. They don't want to let you know where they're trying to go.
Some men.
They don't want you to know how much money that they're making.
Some men.
So if we need to build, how am I going to know where we're starting from if they're not going to open up and share that with me? You got to open up and share that with me. You got to let me know. Stop perpetrating like you have something that you may not have, because men do that so often to try to reel the woman in. They act like they have this and that. They want to throw material things at us, right?
Because women are looking for that.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not, but if that's what you're putting out there at the forefront,
I agree.
And then later on you're going to try to pull that away.
So put it like this, because not saying it's not wrong with wanting things, because everybody has their own love language. And I like acts of service, and I like nice things too. I like flowers, walks in the park. I'm corny, but at the same time, I'm gonna be gangster too. So, I mean,
I like
it's
that.
what you
I want me a gangster.
It's what you can do with the money that you have. I'm not saying like you got to take me to, what I'm saying, Windows of the World or something like all the time.
Right.
I'm not gonna say that, but at the same time, yes, sometimes you like a little. I thought about you. I bought you a pair of socks because I know your feet get cold. I thought about you. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
All right. So if I take you to see Mary J. Blige, can we go to Burger King afterwards?
Let me explain something to you. I could get a whole bottle of Sauvignon from the local liquor store and get me a burger from Jimmy's, and I'm still good.
So not Burger King,
That's what I'm talking about.
but one step up from Burger King, though.
See,
So,
they hear you say you're looking for a good woman
Chick-fil-A
that you want to build with, and I'm telling you, see, I have them on both sides. So guys, you have to step your game up. You can't be like these other half of these men out here that are petty, immature,
narcissistic,
and control freaks.
And so on that note,
you gotta be careful of those because they out here.
On that note, we got a special guest who's going to come in and talk about these narcissistic men and elaborate further.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we're going to take a short break.
And we'll be
All
right back with Miss Tae.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we were talking about why men are so terrified of being married. I think a lot of it have to do with immaturity and also being narcissistic. So we
And
have our
self-centered.
yes, we got our special guest here with us today. I know her as Keish, but you all are gonna know her as Tae. So Tae, what do you think? Share some of your thoughts about this.
I mean, back to what you guys were talking about earlier, and he was talking about, women not having it and using them and getting to a certain point in their lives where they're like, I pay all the bills. It's not like that no more, right?
Okay.
So I'm not saying that you're a narcissist, but a narcissist would say that, right? That's the outlook that we kind of bump into these men. That's like, well, what you have,
true.
but times have changed so much. Men starting to want flowers too, and that's weird to me, right? Chivalry still have to remain, right? And at the same time, we're carrying ourselves as ladies. We have our degrees. We're doing what we need to do. So of course, building is everything because we have our own. So it's not just about men are scared of marriage because we think that women are going to take our money. We're not in that stage no more. We do have some women that's out there that still, I guess that word, gold digging and things
Yep,
like
that's
that.
right.
But when we look at statistics, the intellect where we are, the education, women are at the top. So it's kind of making
Then you
marriage.
don't need a man. Then.
No, of course I need a man. Listen, I had to knock next door for my neighbor to pull my dress up, to buckle my shoe. I need a man. I am just saying when we're talking about as far as you take care of me. No, you take care of me, I take care of you. One hand rub your back, your hand rub. We need the same thing. I'm tired from work. You tired from work. There are no more roles anymore.
Okay.
Right? If I could cook, then I cook. But you might cook better than me. Right? So now you cooking, I'm washing the dishes.
Okay.
Right? We're both
I
going.
am a cook, though.
Oh, amen. So that's what I'm talking about. We have to get out of the mind frame of roles. Like if
agree
once
with
we
you.
lose that, and then a lot of the men, not you, become intimidated, right? Because they are
That
so
is true.
fixated on what society says a man is supposed to do. Women are too. Right, because I still like my door open. I still like my seat pulled out. I like to be
right.
spoiled, right? But I'm going to
Keep the
spoil you
chivalry
too.
alive.
Okay.
You rub my feet, I'm gonna rub your feet. And
I
you know,
love that.
you
Keep the
understand what I'm
chivalry
saying?
going.
Okay.
But I can cook, you can cook.
That's right.
I'm gonna carry some bills, you're gonna carry some
See,
bills.
you builder. You a builder, though.
Absolutely.
But a lot of women are not builders. They're gold diggers. No, don't get me wrong, too. Gold diggers have been out here a long time.
Absolutely.
They got songs about it now.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, like you're saying, you got this independent woman out here that's getting her own, and she can marry someone that doesn't have to have a lot of money because she got it already.
Absolutely.
She got it already.
Absolutely. But men gotta be careful with who they choosing too, right? Because we do have to wait for y'all to ask us to marry. Like that whole thing of women asking them to, I'm never gonna be okay with that. Right? Because men like to chase.
Well, according to Kat, he liked to lease women. He put them on lease.
I ain't
With an
mad at
option
him.
to buy.
I am not mad at him. I'm sorry.
With an option to buy.
Because that's how men are with me. That's how I am with men.
Okay.
Option to stay with you. What are
Okay.
you bringing?
Okay.
What are your qualities? Why am I here? What are you bringing to the table?
Okay.
Because a lot of
It's like
people
a
ask,
car.
what do you have? And men be
Okay.
like, oh, I have money. No.
not enough.
Are we transparent? Are you honest? Do you love your mother? Like, there's some things that I need to know.
Now you
Okay.
can
Right? Like, or do you love God? Like,
That's
we
right.
can't.
I love God.
Like, we
I
could
love
talk
my
about
mama.
money all day.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, yes. So from what I'm hearing, basically what you're saying is it's not all about money.
Right.
It's not just about the
No,
Benjamins,
no.
Ulysses Grant, or Hamilton.
Right.
Not an
Now we're not.
independent woman.
Listen, but we're not mad if you have those.
No.
We're not.
But that goes to say, what are you looking for? Like, why is your character looking for the woman? You shouldn't even have to have that conversation. You should have a standard of who you looking for. That conversation, you can't have a conversation with somebody that you can't build with. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So you take blame of the woman
Yes.
that you put in your life. The same
Yes.
vice versa.
Some of it is immaturity, though, because I think that guys are looking at the beautification of the woman. They're looking at her outer soul or outer
that's right.
beauty.
Trophy.
You know,
That's right.
That's right, and that's what's attracting them. They're looking at a beautiful woman, and then now they find themselves in these relationships with this woman because she's turning them on, and they get attracted to that, and they get stuck right there. But
That's true.
if that's all she have, and she's not able to really build,
And bring
maybe-
nothing to the table.
Then maybe
Other
that's
than
why
that,
they stay stuck in that position. Is that why they stay?
but that don't apply to women like you. But you got women out here with low self-esteem, first of all, and they're gold diggers.
But how did they
So-
get there?
Well,
They didn't get there by themselves.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. You know, we are part of our environment. You are where you from.
The cycle.
You don't have to be, but where you come from or where you were raised can change the kind of person that you could end up being. You know, only difference in life between a very rich person and a very poor person are the choices that you make.
Absolutely.
So
right.
it's the choices, decision that you make in life that's going to
Okay.
decide where you at financially.
Absolutely.
So that goes for a woman with a low self-esteem. See what I'm saying? So if you don't have no value of yourself, then what can you expect from that?
Absolutely.
And that goes the same thing with a man. With men, a lot of
Okay.
men have low self-esteem. So guess what? They
They
want a
look for-
woman with low self-esteem,
Absolutely.
and they don't want a woman with more esteem, more than them. They want it less so they can control.
Absolutely. Right. So
See?
let's talk about that
You
because
can't-
that's most of the
A man
time.
can't run that on either one of you women because y'all are self-reliant and independent.
And it makes
So
it harder
you
for
don't
us to get a
have those
man.
low self- He could never run that on you. It wouldn't work.
Absolutely.
He
So
ain't gonna try to even talk to
so
you.
so it lessens our chance of getting a man.
Are you saying because if we're more like accomplished or something?
No,
that-
because we're assertive, right? We're going to ask
Okay.
for what we want because we have what we already need to have, right?
Okay.
We just don't have you, the male body,
Oh,
the
okay.
leadership. You know, we don't have that. So when we're bringing that, it's just like, because men like to be needed, right?
Absolutely.
I don't want to change a tire. Please
Right.
change my tire, right? I don't need, I would like to learn,
Right.
right? But I don't want to have to change my tire. But
Right.
we're getting it crossed because some men will say, no, I want a woman to bring something to the table. Now she got too much at the table. Right, so it's just
I don't
like
believe
she
that.
think. No, I'm telling you, it sounds nice, but that ego gets bruised. Right,
Okay.
some like men will go out and get a second job because they feel like, no, you can't do this. So now it's a war. It's a struggle because
So
men.
love ain't supposed to be a war or a battlefield. It's supposed to be teamwork to make the dream work.
So you wouldn't get a second job if your wife was making more than
I
you?
did that already.
All right then.
Yeah.
So, but why did you do that?
I did that so I could show her I'm stepping my game up. So she didn't have to be the number one breadwinner.
Well, what's wrong with that?
No,
You need
there's
to be the
nothing wrong
breadwinner.
with it. No, there was nothing wrong with it. She motivated me to do better so that way
Okay.
we could have more together.
Do better
She
than.
didn't have no problem putting her
Okay.
check down. So if I'm putting less down, I had to step my game up
Okay.
so I could put equally or more. In my case, it was more. So that made me more proud of like, see how hard you working now. Look what I'm bringing to the table. Now we can start making decisions on building, like you said, and planning vacations, buying a second house, getaway. You know, you can do those things when you got two people with making two good incomes
Okay.
and ends a meeting because it's a team thing.
So let's say, right, that you went and got that second job, and then she just got some major, a major position, and she
And that
still
did
made more
happen.
than you.
And that did happen.
And how did you feel?
And it did happen. Once again, I was proud. But one of the things that hurt me, that she had to go away for a month to train for this special training. So here's a whole month that I got this big old house by myself, and it's just me. And so I'm calling every day, making sure she good.
Okay.
And,
Making sure she good.
You
I
didn't.
gotta
You wasn't
make
out
sure
there
you
she
good?
Was you cheating? You wasn't
I
cheating.
ain't go nowhere. I didn't go out my house. I got off from work. I went home. But I did. I go to the gym, and then I go home.
Did you make her feel bad for working, for leaving you for a month?
No, because she was ambitious, and I love a woman with ambition.
All
Yes,
right now.
okay.
See, with goals and ambition, that
Okay,
turns me
absolutely.
on. I'm attracted to a woman that has goals and ambition, and I'm attracted to intellect and
Okay.
stimulation of the mind. I don't care how
Absolutely.
good and how fine, how shapely you are. If you ain't stimulating this up here, I'm not gonna connect with you.
I'm gonna applaud. Hello.
Hello.
Some people are just together.
But my mom raised
for
me
wrong
like that.
reasons. And it just, we don't always mesh well with the person that we're with.
That's true, that's
and
true.
it's time to make a harder decision. You know, if you know you want more, and you, especially if you know you want to be married, maybe that's not the right person that you're with and you're not meshing well, because I'm hearing from this gentleman I'm sitting next to. He said to me just the other day that sometimes women are not being asked to get married, and it's her fault that they're not getting married. Now, what?
You looking over
Can you
here?
tell my people, these good people, like, what did you mean by that? It's her. How's it her fault?
It can be the woman's fault. This is a catch. It's a catch 22.
Don't start
It's a catch
changing now.
22.
Don't
It's a
start
catch
changing
22.
now.
All right, so
Go ahead.
this is catch 22. All right, so If the woman is a control freak, or she is narcissistic, if she is petty, and if she is immature, and she ain't grown up, some women just don't grow up. You haven't grown up, you still acting like a child, you spoil, you always got to have your way, and you always got to be right. See? And so that's my issue right there.
Now come on now.
Some women.
Now you just gonna flip the script like that?
Yeah, because
right?
women out here like that.
Oh, man.
Just like it's men
Well,
out, it's men out here like that, and you got to deal with that part.
Absolutely.
So you got to have your red flag. You got to look for the red flag.
Kat, let's stick to the
if
topic.
a man start controlling you,
Kat, come on.
all right.
Come
So
on,
we on the
Kat.
topic.
The topic is. What was the topic?
See, you lost.
No, I'm
Y'all
joking.
done lost you in the
No.
topic
You
now.
definitely didn't lose me in the
Stay
topic.
with me.
No.
Stay with me.
She's right with you. Come on, Tay, you got my back. What are you talking about? That it's the woman's
listen,
fault.
when you say when it's a woman's fault, what you just said, that was surface. You said it's a woman's fault why a man won't marry her.
No, that's not true.
Oh, that's
it
not
can
true?
be. I told you it can be.
But not because
it depends on the woman. It goes back to the same things that I
You've
just
been hearing women
counted.
being narcissistic. You've been hearing that? We wouldn't be honest.
It's a whole lot of women
It's a
more
whole
that
lot of
way
everything.
than there ever was before. I never knew anything about narcissistic
So tell me
women,
about
but now they are
Tell
out
me about a
here.
narcissistic
A
woman.
woman that wants to control everything, that thinks she's better than you, and the marriage is a competition instead of a relationship.
And you heard that about
Now,
women.
men are like that too. That's what I keep telling you. So you got to deal with it just as much as a man does.
Kat, can we say more?
Yeah.
Can we say more?
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
so
then.
you saying
You say more, men, more than what you're expressing about a woman. And
I
with
never
those
knew.
traits.
It was a time when I didn't know what a narcissistic. How could it be How could it be a woman out here like that when it is now? But it was a men thing.
It
was
is a
men
man
doing it,
thing.
but now it's a woman thing.
Okay, a lot of
See?
things is a woman thing, like
so-
women are doing construction now, right? So we're gonna keep flipping back and forth. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but you said it's a woman's fault. It's women's
I'm not
fault why
saying
they
it's
not
women's
getting married.
No, it's a
You gotta
fault
give
on
me
both sides.
something else.
Fault can fall on both sides.
Okay.
It can be a woman's fault.
Absolutely.
Now I could give you scenarios where it can be a woman's fault, but
Please
it's
do.
never a woman's fault.
explain?
Okay, a good
Explain.
example is everything is about you.
Okay.
See, now all women ain't like that,
Okay.
and you don't willing to compromise on nothing. See,
Okay.
that could be a woman.
That's true.
But it could be a man too.
Absolutely.
So now when you look at it, you have to look at it from both sides.
I
'Cause I can't take a
always.
side on it, but a woman can be the cause because of those facts that I'm telling you.
Absolutely. I
See,
agree with
now,
that.
if you got the man doing it and the woman doing it, see now it's not healthy, and there's no way it's gonna be happy.
But which side are you on, Kat? Because first you come out saying, "Is this?" and then you change it.
I don't have a
on me.
side.
You
I'm
don't have
not
a side
changing
now?
on you. I don't take a side. I deal with the facts. See? So you can't. It's not a man or a woman thing. If they both doing it, then whose fault is it?
No, but when you say
it's both fault.
okay, but if we were sticking to the topic, right?
Yeah, we sticking to the topic.
Right? Didn't you bring this up and say that's
No, she said that
oh,
women.
now you just gonna blame it on her.
No, that's the topic she brought up.
Well,
That's what we
That's
doing.
the topic,
Let's
right?
get it
Isn't that the
straight.
topic?
I just want to get it straight.
Okay, let's let it get straight.
Because
Stay on the topic. What's the topic? Say what the topic is.
Okay, so it was just a conversation that you and I had a couple days ago, and you just said to me, well, you know, a lot of times a woman isn't being asked to get married. It's her fault. Sometimes it's the woman's fault that she's
Yes,
not being
sometimes.
asked, right?
Yes,
But I mean, I think you guys touched on it because that was a good example. Because sometimes it's her fault. Most of the times it ain't our fault.
A lot of times it's
Because
both
we're
sides'
not trying
fault.
to be
We're
the
not
one
bashing,
to
but-
propose. But I also think that a lot of times people are dating with no purpose.
Absolutely.
So
I agree
maybe
with
that's
that.
something that we should be discussing right in the beginning. When you first meet someone and you start dating, we need to find out, are you dating with a purpose or are you just dating for pleasure, right? You think that's a good question to ask someone that you met, you like, you're feeling each other? Because then maybe you won't have an expectation. That helps you to know if you should have an expectation or not. So what's up with that? Are, men just dating with a purpose? Or just
That's
for
true.
pleasure?
I'll say this for women out there. It can be your fault if you not. Tell you why
I
it can
told
be your
you.
fault. I'm gonna tell you why
You
it
got
can be
so
your
many
fault.
sides. Go ahead. Go
Because
ahead.
so way that
No,
women can
yes,
know.
yes.
First, you got to look for the red flags, so that way you know this the if the man is trying to control you.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? And he doesn't compromise with you. See, and he always have to have the last word. And if he's petty, See, so if you deal with that kind of man, that is your fault. Why are you dealing with a man?
Oh my God, Kat.
That is your fault.
Kat, you just
going
sat
back,
here and said women
it's
do
choices.
the same thing. Now you
It's
saying men do it.
choices.
Lord have mercy.
It's choices. And you have a choice.
Absolutely.
Are you going to deal with a man that's all those things that I just told you?
No.
So then whose fault is it if you do?
Ooh, okay.
Of course,
That,
but
that's
All
a valid
right.
point.
So
I
whose
think-
fault is it
No,
if you do?
think
no,
that's a
Kat
valid
is
point
he's
with that.
going on the A train and the D train. Now come on now.
Whichever train
no,
is
no,
run the
because listen, no,
If you
no.
on the local
you just
line,
sat
you going
here.
slower.
Come on, y'all. The people,
So
y'all
if you
listen.
on the A
He
or the
just
D,
said
that's
the
going
same thing
express.
about women of why they don't get married or why it's their fault that they're not getting married.
And I
Now
just explained
it's
to
your
you.
fault if you dealing with a man that's acting like a woman that
Because
he
you
was just talking
allowing
about.
that.
Oh,
And that
Lord.
could go for a man too.
Oh, he's-
Well, you know what? I think
This
I
is some
understand.
narcissistic
You don't
behavior
want to
right
get
here.
it.
No,
you
I
don't,
do.
You don't
I
want to get
understand.
it. See, she's opinionated, and her opinion is the only thing that matters. She's a perfect example that I'm going on the facts.
He backsliding, y'all.
So now we right back to it again that you don't want to take the responsibility that if you choose the wrong man for all these things that I'm telling you what not to do, then you say that you ain't got no accountability for it. So it ain't my fault.
No,
it ain't my fault that I mess with a man.
Wait, you
that's petty.
making a woman
no,
on
you have
both
to-
sides. Do you
still
know
don't-
what you just
You
said?
still want to take the facts.
Ooh,
I'm
Lord.
giving you facts.
I'm
The
going by what
facts
you
is
said.
Why? That's right. So I'm asking you. I'm asking you now.
All right, Kat.
Why would you take a man or accept a man that's petty, that's jealous, egotistical, or narcissistic?
I wouldn't.
So whose fault is if you choose a man like that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the obvious. But what I'm
All
trying
right.
to say to you
So
is,
it's the same thing with a
No,
man.
no.
It's a man's
How you gonna
fault
say-
if
no.
he chooses that.
Kat,
If he chooses
you
that.
just said the same thing about.
Let's
you
give
know what?
let's give Tay a minute to say something. Okay, she's gonna address it. Go ahead, Tay.
I just would like to say that we started off about fault of it being a woman's fault, right? And Kat, we super cool, right?
We cool.
Okay, right.
You gotta
So, Kat,
take a side, baby.
Now I gotta. You're not gonna take my words and keep using it back at me. So excuse
Okay,
me.
go ahead.
You don't want to take no accountability.
Oh wow. See, it's some narcissism going on right
It's
now.
with you, because you don't want to
Give me
take
her. Come on, Kat,
take
give me that.
responsibility.
No, you
look,
gotta take
look,
responsibility for your words.
ladies. This is an example. Look, take responsibility for the man that you pick, and men take a responsibility for the woman that you pick.
When we come back,
And
find out what side he on, cause
I don't have a side.
I'm nowhere
I
near
just give you the
confused.
facts. I give you the facts.
He just sat here and stated women are the reason on both sides. We are the reason for the men that we choose. We are the reason if we are narcissists. Everything was turning back on women, but
You
he's
don't
not
want to take the responsibility.
Oh Lord, have
Okay,
mercy.
I would like to
Would
say
you
this.
Thank
take
you.
responsibility?
I would like to say this because
I take responsibility for
Kat?
my choices of the women that I pick. I won't pick none of those type of four I call.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from. And I'm going to agree with you with some of what you're saying because sometimes it is the woman's fault in this respect that she just chose the wrong man.
Absolutely.
So if you start dating a man and you're with him 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and you're still dating this man and you see certain behaviors.
Absolutely.
You know, he is narcissistic. He's not trying to build anything with you. He's being selfish. You know, he wants you to do everything and he's not giving. He's not nurturing and trying to help the relationship to grow to the next level. Then sometimes women, we do need to look at that and have a serious
That's all
conversation
I'm
with
saying.
that
Absolutely.
man to see if maybe he's even looking to go to the level of marriage because he might not be. So I think that's what you kind of was saying. With
That's all I'm
sometimes it
saying.
could be with the woman. Yeah,
I'm just
she
dealing
chose
with
the
the
wrong
facts.
person. So if we see that and we recognize that, then what should we do? I think it's time to go. If you know you want to be married, have that serious talk with him and find out. Be real with each other because that's the most challenging part of it is to get a man to be truthful, to get the woman to be truthful. We have to start speaking with each other our truth and don't be afraid. Stop being scared because fear is robbing us across the board in almost everything in our
I agree.
relationships, and that's why they are failing so hard with our community. So I want to say thank you so much to Tay for hanging out with us today. Thank you to Kat,
I had
you
a
know,
great time.
for having
I had a
us here in
wonderful.
his
Thanks for
studio.
having me.
Thank you guys so much. This was so much fun, and we're gonna be back in a little bit because we have some more. Okay, I'm gonna bring a young chick up here, a young lady.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Yes.
I just deal with
We
the
want to hear what
facts.
she
Bring
has
it
to
on.
say. Okay, thank you
I
so
had
much.
fun with
Oh,
you, girl.
absolutely. So that was
guys-
so much fun.
Well, let
of
me
course.
just say,
You got to do this again. We got to do this more.
Kat, Do you have any final words? I'm gonna hear yours first, and then we'll have Tay final
Yes,
words.
I like to deal with the facts. God bless you and be true to yourself and all that
Mm-hmm.
you do. And
Okay.
even from a man's perspective, you men, you got to be responsible and take accountability when you
Mm-hmm.
pick the wrong women.
Ooh.
When you pick a woman that's narcissistic,
Mm-hmm.
self-controlling, egotistical, immature, and petty. You got to stop. You
Mm.
can't. You got to take responsibility too. And so it goes on both sides.
Okay.
You know, you cannot let people continue to do the same thing to you and not take responsibility and blame it on them. You take
Okay.
responsibility for who you let take advantage of you and misuse you to make the decision. You need to move on and go for what you know you really worth.
Absolutely.
Great
Know your
point.
worth. That goes for both
Ooh,
sides.
great point.
Absolutely.
And Tay,
Well, I'm
final
just going to
words.
piggyback on that. I definitely, totally, 100% agree with that. Transparency is key.
Yes.
Be honest with yourself. Have intent. When you are dealing with anybody, make sure it's intentional. You don't have time to waste out here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So a lot of times we see red flags and we go, you know what? I'm going to have faith that that's just the representative that's coming through, right? Sometimes believe the person when they show you who they are the
Ooh.
first time.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yes.
and this is for real
Hmm.
talkers, baby.
Hmm.
Where real people say real
Real
things.
things.
Yay! Okay, so now I have another special guest in the building. We have Susie Q
Hi.
joining us, and Susie Q have a lot to say about this conversation. So I know we were talking about, Kat mentioned that when he was married, his wife was making more money than him, so he went out and he got a second job. So Susie Q sat over and heard this, and she got
Step your
something to
game up.
say. Yeah, so go ahead, Susie. Go ahead, say what
What
you
you got
need
to
to
say?
say.
I feel like that's I don't want to call it insecurity, but at the same time I do. I feel like that's an ego problem, like
Mm.
a men's ego. Some men have that
Mm.
ego problem.
Well, it would be an ego problem if you felt intimidated by your
Mm.
wife making more money, you're not being proud of her,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to step your game up to show that you can bring just as much to the table, so that way that it can make more for the family,
Absolutely, I agree.
for the
But
family.
I don't want to really put you on blast.
No, put me on blast.
But I did overhear you say,
Put me
well,
on blast.
my wife can't be the breadwinner. So why would if I understand that you're proud of her, but why would you feel like your lady can't be the breadwinner?
You know what would happen? She was the breadwinner.
But
She
you went
made
and got
more.
another job so you could be
And
the
step my
breadwinner.
game up. Yeah, step my game up.
Yes, but why would you not want your
Why
lady to
wouldn't
be
why
that?
wouldn't why wouldn't you want to step your game up? So
Okay.
you want your woman to make more money so she can be the number one breadwinner. The
Mm-hmm.
bottom line is it's about together the money is going on the table to pay the
Mm-hmm.
bills,
Okay.
so we can do what we need to do
Mm-hmm.
to live our dream
Mm-hmm.
together. At the end of
So
the day,
So you don't
that's what
feel
it's
like
about.
you don't feel like her being the breadwinner, you could still put your money together on the table to survive and live
Ooh,
life.
good
Me,
point.
I'm old and I'm traditional. And I'm traditionally, I was raised that a man's supposed to take care of his woman. Do you know how happy and obligated I was to have a woman that could bring more money to the table with me? I didn't know what to think. I was loving it. But at the same time, as a real man, I said, I gotta step my game up, because what if she talking to her girlfriends
Mm.
and start
Hello.
saying stuff about that
Incident,
I'm not bringing enough money to the table? See, that
Mm-hmm.
could make me
Just
feel
looking at the
insecure
insecure.
if I'm
door.
not. But it didn't. It made me step the game up because I wanted to show her that I'm good.
So you're saying that it did make you feel insecure.
No, it didn't make
Mm.
me feel insecure. It
I,
made me
I
want
feel like you
to.
kind of
No, it made me want
contradicting
to.
a little bit.
No, listen to me.
I'm listening.
It made me want to step my game up
Okay.
Okay.
because of the fact I was proud that I had a woman.
But in
Because
the
I
back,
don't know that feeling.
but no,
Mm-hmm.
I understand. But in the back of your mind, you're saying,
And I
what
said,
if she's talking to her girlfriends about I'm the breadwinner, my man is only making this amount of money, and I'm making more than him. That's insecure. Because
so
if you're genuinely proud of her and happy for her, you won't have that thought in your head. What if she's
Oh.
talking about me to her girlfriends, saying that she's the breadwinner?
subconsciously, I said it in the other show.
Mm-hmm.
Subconsciously, I thought about it. Yes, I did. But what I know what I did? It made me
Mm.
step my game up.
Mm-hmm.
It
Okay.
made me want to bring more to the table because of the fact that's what she do.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta do what she do. So it don't matter who leads. The bottom
Mm.
line is we a team.
Let's pause. It doesn't matter who's leading. Bottom line is that we are a team. So why couldn't she just be the breadwinner?
It don't matter.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So do you want a man that don't step his game up if you start
I
making
will
more?
always want
No,
a man
I'm
to step
actually
his game
okay.
up. But
See,
we're not
thank you.
talking about me.
That's all.
We're talking about cats, because we're not going to say all men. We're talking on cat right now. Some men are like cat, right?
I wanted to step my game up.
Right. So what I'm saying is that it did make you feel
But what if
insecure.
I
And it's
did?
okay to acknowledge that, it might have made you feel insecure, not subconsciously, because the things that you're saying, it's saying it without calling it insecure. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Well, I think it's insecure if you feel some type of way about it because you don't got no way to do nothing about it, because it could put you in in a box, because you always got these things about men being less and not stepping up to the plate, not doing what they're supposed to be doing, not taking care of the home, and not being the breadwinner. And a lot of men are not doing that.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So if you have a man that is doing that, and then somebody like you bring more to the table, I'm like, I have to step my game up because she's showing more leadership with me. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't have got a second job, I'm not saying it. It's just that what she did subconsciously, I thought about that and said that I think it would be a good idea if I did do it.
Well,
Because
you know what?
When you got the more money you bring to the table, the better your life gonna be if you with the one you
Okay.
love.
I'm going to say that being insecure, it can be looked upon as something negative, but you can also flip it into something positive. And it almost sounds to me like that's what you were trying to do. So it could have initially had like a negative feeling, like, oh no, my wife is making more than me. But at the same time, I'm really proud of her. So it did give you some type of encouragement to be better, because we could all be better. And when you know better and you see that you could be better, you should try and you should go for it. So I'm going to commend you for going for it, because to me, that's what you did. You might have, yes.
A petty, immature man
Yes.
would have took it to, some personal kind of way. And then for some reason, it affects the household, because now you making more money, you're going to feel insecure. Now she's going to come home and you're going to make her feel some type of way. That's petty. That's immature. Why are you going to be doing that? That don't,
Hold
and a lot
up
of
now.
men do that. And that's not fair for you men out here when your wife make more money for you to act up.
Okay,
Be proud of your woman when she making more
Absolutely.
money. Be glad that you got that. Because most men don't get that. But if you do, it's a blessing. So you
Okay.
shouldn't be feeling insecure.
Okay,
I don't know. It's just my opinion. That's how I feel about
Okay,
it.
Kat, now you shouldn't feel insecure, but we feel what we feel as women and as men. And a lot of times that can't be avoided. To me, as long as you feel it, you're real about it with yourself, even if you don't tell your partner, how it's really making you feel, but you see how you can flip those feelings and get something positive to come out of it, then it's okay. You're doing okay.
If
Okay,
if a
so
woman brings more
what-
money to the table, you got to give it up more. You got to do it more. You got to clean the house up more. You got to wash the car.
Okay. Now we're back to being submissive if you're making the most money. But
Yeah,
listen,
that's right.
I want to hear from Tae. I'm gonna let Tae have the final words
Now you
of
gotta wash
anything
both
she needs to
cars.
say.
you got to do the cooking too. You
I'm
gotta wash the
sorry.
dishes.
Listen, guys, I'm all over the place. We are live in K&L Studio. We have a couple of people sitting here because we're preparing to go live within the next 2 weeks. We're going to be live with a phone number where you can actually call in and say what
Yes.
you need to say,
Yes,
ask
call
us
in.
questions. So I got a little confused because, of course, Tae was my girl with the cap. This right here is Susie Q. Ain't she cute? Look at Susie Q.
Q.
So go ahead,
Thank
Susie.
you. Now I just wanted to say, I feel like, on the behalf that he's explaining, I feel like it could turn into something competitive in
It
a
could.
marriage or a relationship.
It could.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very good
I
point.
agree with you. Yes, it
Do
could.
you feel like that you was in competition with your lady?
I wouldn't say competition. You got healthy competition. You could have a healthy competition, then you could have petty competition. You know what I'm saying? But this is what me and my wife did. We had a year where we said that none of us had won anything. We said somebody got to win something. So we had a bet on who would win an award that year.
Okay.
So it was a competition on who was going to win something. Now we didn't throw it in each other's face, but whoever won the award, you had to take them on some type of trip or something for the weekend. So here I'm trying to win something, so that way she can take me on a trip, and she's trying to do the same, so I can. Well, she won. The bottom line, she won, and I ended up paying for a trip. But that was healthy competition.
Okay.
Because nothing more that I loved than my woman winning an award and then me taking her on a vacation.
Okay.
Because she won something. It was great.
Well, that sounds like a very loving relationship. It really sounded like it was. I don't know, Tae, I'm going to let you have the final words before we close this out. Did I say Tae again? Okay, sometimes, people have egos. Sometimes people are narcissistic, and sometimes we just need to take some ADD medication or something. Somebody give me a pill. Give me a pill. But because I keep saying Tay, I think the reason why is because Tay is still in the building and Tay got something to say. But that's Susie Q, and actually Susie Q is related to Tay. So we're gonna see if we can let Tay slide in here. I don't know. Can we move over a little bit and let Tay slide back in here? And Tay, what is it that you're gonna say? We got
Tay, bring it on.
See,
Tay.
I was coming here to be nice to her. Right? what I challenge you, right? I'm gonna challenge you. This is a good challenge. This is to help the men out there. Right?
Okay.
Yes, it is.
For,
It is.
right?
It is.
Right. So what
Yes,
what I challenge him to do
Come on with it.
make the men feel comfortable and vulnerable enough to admit certain things to themselves. To let the ego get out the way.
Yes.
Because
Yes,
what
I
he was
agree.
doing, he was struggling a little bit, respectfully,
Mhm.
like, how do I feel right now when I'm responding to this?
Yeah.
Right? And while he's digesting it and processing it, he's making it okay. And I want you fellas to understand that takes courage. Right?
Yes.
So I admire you
Yes.
going through it, going through the feelings of saying like, oh, was I? Well, maybe I was. That's where the little chuckle coming at, right? Because that's when you're trying to process like, how real is this? Did I really feel like that?
With both
Yes.
of y'all, it's the facts.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The facts can really be
So
complicated.
with that being said, I'm challenging him,
Okay.
his other male friends, to let them know it's okay.
Yes. Okay.
It's okay to feel away,
Yes.
right? And it's definitely dope to step your game up, but
Yes.
not to be in competition
And be
with
petty.
with your woman,
Make her
right?
suffer for
Right,
being the
so-
number one breadwinner.
So we're gonna stop using the word breadwinner. We're gonna both be successful together,
Okay.
right? So it's like, babe, you know what? You motivated me,
Yeah.
right? Not to do better or to do more than you, but just as good as you. We need to start
There
using the
you
proper
go.
words,
You
right?
hear
So
that?
we can both carry each other. You're not carrying me.
Okay.
That's right.
That conversation should never even happen between me and my friends about who makes more. So
Okay.
my man don't have to feel insecure.
Absolutely.
And I don't
You
want
hear
my
that?
man feeling like that's the conversation, right?
Yes.
Because that shouldn't
Yes.
motivate him.
Yes.
That shouldn't motivate him. What should motivate him is say, we both doing great. We
Yes.
both going to do this. And that's how he should always speak. So subconsciously, you might have some things in the back of your mind, but share that with your fellas. Like, oh, bro,
Yeah.
you know, it's okay to tell your lady, babe, I was feeling some kind of way,
Mhm.
right? It's okay to tell your bro, you might need a hug, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hug you. There's a lot of men that don't hug, don't tell each other,
Okay.
I love you and I'm proud of you. We start using that more, this will be a better place, right?
Yes.
It's more about
Yes.
encouragement. So
Yes.
we're not going to continuously expound on
Yes.
being petty and being
Petty and
narcissistic,
insecure.
right? If we start holding each other
Accountable. Yes.
right?
Yes.
So this
Talk
That's
about it.
it'll be a better platform where we're
Yeah.
all saying, you know what,
Yeah.
I do need to take accountability for this.
Yes.
You know, brother, you need to take accountability for
Yes.
that. Your relationship might not be working because have you looked in the mirror? Like, what are you doing? So that is very important to start taking accountability. Hold your friends accountable for their actions. Don't be like kumbaya, I ain't gonna say nothing, that's none of my business. It is your business because the world goes around. These people have kids.
Yeah.
So everything keeps going on and on like
In
a
a
hamster
cycle.
wheel.
Yes.
We have to do better as a people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay? We have
Yes.
to spread love, give love, hold everybody accountable
Yes.
so we can all do better
Yes,
as a team.
yes,
That's
yes.
what
I
want
love
to
that.
say.
I love what you just said. Take accountability.
Accountability.
Take those negatives, flip them into positives. And I'm
Absolutely.
going to let Susie have the last word.
I just want to spread the love, no hard feelings.
Okay.
You know how I feel. I love it
He's
every
here
minute of
representing for the men. We're
Okay.
here representing for the women.
the best of my ability.
Okay.
Best of both worlds. I love who loves me.
Okay. Well, thank you
And
again.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you all.
Yes.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Tay. And thank you, Kathmandu,
Yes,
for
you
allowing
said
us
it
here
right.
Give me
at
five.
K&L
It's an
Studio.
honor.
You
K&L
know,
Studio.
got my little ring here from
Yes.
Mr. Kathmandu.
Okay.
So, on behalf of Jennifer and I, again, this has been For Real Talkers. We're real people, say real things.
Real thing.
Bye.
Bye.